Did you know that your website visitors have an inert reaction to your site within 0.2 seconds of the page opening? They then spend another 2.6 seconds confirming or denying their initial impression. If your site is visually attractive, you'll make a good first impression and confirm it. But if it's not, it is very hard to change the initial impression and they'll probably move on. The design of your website and how the content is laid out plays a huge part when earning your visitors' trust and in getting them to stick around. A Compete.com research study showed that nearly 60% of users cite the design of a website as the most important factor in developing trust with the site owner. If your site looks poorly designed, they are much more likely to assume it's untrustworthy. And if your site and the content in it look like every other site out there, then there's a big chance that your website visitors will just quickly skim it and hit the back button without even giving you a chance. The way you present your content can make all the difference in the world. Google, which is the biggest content provider, knows this, and that's why they came up with the Google Web Fonts project. Google Fonts is an online repository of fonts that Google has the rights to and that any website owner can use freely on their sites. It provides a huge selection of high-quality fonts and font effects that will make the web less boring without slowing sites down. The only drawback is that integrating Google Fonts to WordPress sites requires some coding knowledge because you have to add some lines of code to the CSS of your site to call on the fonts. But most of us have a very basic knowledge of the code behind our sites, so we shouldn't be poking back there. And that's why Igor and I decided to create GFont plugin, so you can leverage this amazing resource in a simple point-and-click way and without having to mess around with code. So let me show you what this plugin can do. Okay, so this is the plugin settings page, and as you can see up here we have 4 tabs. The first tab is the Fonts tab, and here you can find all the 600 plus fonts available. These fonts are sorted by popularity, and there are 2 ways to find your font. You can browse through the database of fonts page by page to find the font you like, and once you found your font you just select it, or if you have a specific font already in mind, you can use the search bar here. So you would just put the name of your font and hit update, and there it is, you just select it. If you want to see the whole list again, you just remove this here and hit update, and there's the whole list again. And as you can see, there are fonts for every taste. No matter the theme of your site or the look you're going for, you are sure to find an incredible font here to match it. The next tab is the Fonts Effects tab. From here you can select 27 really cool font effects. There are some really nice ones here, like the 3D one, it's really cool, or the fire animation, the neon, or the static. So if you want to have one of these effects available, you would just select it, and that's it. The next tab is the Other Areas tab. The best way to demonstrate this feature is by showing you the site as it is right now. As you can see, it has the same old fonts as 99% of all the websites out there. And this is not the fault of the theme developers. The thing is that all WordPress themes come by default with fonts like Arial, Verdana, or Helvetica. And this is because in order for a font to load in your browser, it must be installed in your computer or mobile device. And that's why theme developers are limited to just using the most common ones. But that ends today with this plugin. Let me show you. So here we can change the font of the page titles, the menu items, and the widget titles. So let's see what we can do. For the page titles, let's choose Luckiest Guy. You see the fonts listed here are the ones you selected on the Fonts tab here. Okay, so Luckiest Guy, font size, let's say 32 because these are the titles. Effect, let's go with 3D, and color black. For the menu, let's go with Lobster, font size 22, effect, which one, neon, and this color. Okay, and for the widgets, let's go with Pacifico, font size 18. Let's see how they look with fire animation, and let's choose orange. Now we just hit save settings, and let's see how the site looks now. Pretty cool, right? We went from this to this. The title looks like if it was an image, but it's not. You see, it's text. This not only makes your site look unique, but it also helps with SEO because we have descriptive text. And unlike images, Google Fonts load really fast because they are served by Google servers and they are stored in your visitor's browser's cache. But inside the Other Areas tab, you can only change the page titles, the menu items, and the widgets. So let's say you have other elements on your site you want to apply the fonts to. That's why we created the GFont Picker option. So you can select any element of the page and apply any font, effect, or color you want. Let me show you how it works. So let's say I want to change our page title. So we select the GFont Picker. We select our font. So let's say Black Ops 1. We select our font effect. Let's say grass. And for our size, because it's the title of our site, let's go big, 38. And let's go with green. And we hit go. So as you can see, any element of the site, I put my mouse on top, it changes to the font and effect I've selected. So we just click on the desired element and then hit close. And as you can see, we've changed the title of our site. It looks better, right? And as easy as it is to apply the font change, it's easy to revert back to what you had before. So let's say we don't like how our site title looks. We would choose the GFont Picker again and just leave everything default. Hit go, choose the page title, click on it and hit close. As you can see, it went back to as it was before. Pretty easy, right? And now let me demonstrate how you can apply the fonts to the body text. And for that, we need to go to the page post editor. Okay, so we're inside the post editor here, and as you can see, GFont plugin has added these 3 drop downs. One is for the font family, so here you will find the fonts you chose before. One is for the font size, and the other one is for the font effects. And applying these fonts and effects to the body text is really easy. You will just select the text you want to apply the font to, and then select the font from the drop down. So let's say in this case, we can use rock salt. And if you like, you can also add some effect. So let's choose the text again. And let's give it the 3D float effect. Okay, it looks really nice, right? Now let's do something different for the sub-headline. So let's say we want to do lobster. We want to give it a bigger size because it's a sub-headline. So let's say 22. And let's give it an effect. Let's say shadow multiple. Or maybe make it a little bit bigger. Okay, looks really nice, right? Let's see how the actual post looks. So we preview the changes, and you see it looks really nice, right? The text looks different, looks unique, and look how cool the sub-headline looks. And these changes were really easy to apply. Just point and click, select and change. And posts like this will get your visitors engaged. Okay, so you have seen what this plugin can do and how it can definitely help you stand out and capture the attention of your visitors. GFont plugin can transform any WordPress website in just a few minutes and without having to mess around with your theme's CSS code. And it gives you so much versatility, you'll want to install it in all your sites. So please read below to find out how you can get your hands on this plugin at a special introductory price and start leveraging the power of web fonts today.